had problems. Linda, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, Sam?
I'm good. You getting any cold weather?
No, we're going to be in the mid 60s today.
Yeah, you're warmer than we are today.
I know. I know.
It's crazy.
The world is upside down.
It is. It is. It's quite a bit colder as you go north, but we've had some. For Florida, we've had some cold weather.
Yeah, I hear
I don't know.
that
A
the
lot of times.
lizards have just been dropping out of the trees.
Oh yeah, the iguanas. Yeah, that's always the talk of this time of the year when we get a little bit of cold weather. More of those are down, towards the um, east coast of Florida and southern Florida. But yeah, they drop like flies, man, down there.
And they
So
were
it's
showing
crazy.
that some of those are big. You don't want to be
Oh yeah,
underneath when they fall on you.
yeah.
They'll knock
Oh
you
yeah, you
out.
can definitely get hurt. But when the weather warms, everybody thinks they're all dead, but they're not. They've just their bodies just can't handle the cold, so it shuts down. And then when it warms up, they warm up, and away they go.
Now, was seeing pictures, they were moving them. Do they just move them off the
Yeah,
sidewalks and off the street and just stick them in the grass and let them wake up, or were they
yeah.
doing stuff with them?
Some of them take them and put them someplace where they can wake up sooner. But mostly they just put them off to the side and let them wake up naturally. So it's
What a
funny.
life.
Yeah, I know, right? Ah, it's cold. I'm going to go to sleep. Wake me up when
I'm
it's
gonna go to
warm.
sleep. Wake me up when it's warm.
So, Linda, we titled this "Why Start with Why," and this is based on Simon Sinek's book, "Start with Why." Um, and it's always an interesting subject, don't you think? I mean, uh, everything has to be around our why.
It doesn't. And as you read this book, it's basically a business book, but it relates to everything you do. Because if you don't know why you're doing something, what's the incentive to work through the challenges?
Hmm.
What's the incentive to keep going when it's not working,
Right?
but you're on the right path? And the other thing is especially when you're talking, for individuals, our whys are all going to be different and they're
Mhm.
going to change.
Right? Right?
And over time, your why isn't your why your whole lifetime. You know, I've reinvented myself countless times because
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
life has changed and the reason I want to do things changes.
Yeah. In the preface to I have the I don't know, it's a 15th anniversary edition or something like that. Um, Simon says, and I'm quoting here: the more organizations and people who learn to also start with why, the more people there will be who wake up feeling fulfilled by the work that they do. And that's the best reason I can think of to continue sharing this idea. End quote. And so if you read the book, and we're going to do a study here starting in March, correct?
Yeah, I
I'm
think
not sure.
mid to late March.
Yeah. And a book study and get into some of the coaching and teaching around it and how we do things. But it goes into all aspects of life.
Yes.
It's not just your business. Why are you in business? Why do you do things? Why do I go down to the port? Why do I live? Why am I living where I'm living? You know what I mean? And things like that. And unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess, depending on how you look at it, our whys change all the time.
They do. And I think, deep down our basic why, like if why is your family,
Yeah.
then the why doesn't necessarily change, but the people responsible for the why do.
Yes.
And it's okay for things to change. I think as humans, we get stuck in a pattern, we get stuck in a cycle, and we want things different, but we don't want to change.
Right. Um, Simon talks about the how and the to, and
Yeah,
so many people get it mixed up. How am I going to do this? Well, if you don't know why you're going to do it, or what is the deeper meaning of your why, I think of an example because I have a friend of mine who on his wall basically says, write every day. Okay. Um, and then so to write, and then some research and some things like that. And then down at the bottom, why do I do this? And if I quote his why and he listens, he'll know that I'm talking about him, and that's probably not fair, but it's backwards,
yeah,
right? And in all honesty, the why that he has is probably not big enough and not defined enough, I guess would be the biggest thing. And so how can we be really effective and affect the people we desire to affect if our why is not correct?
clarity is huge, and a lot of us struggle with clarity. And you know, when I was looking through this, just in the introduction, he was talking about, okay, I got to put my cheaters on, and they're gonna make my eyes funny. So that's what happens when you have blue light cheaters. You see all the
Yep.
reflection.
Yep.
But what he says is, if we're starting with the wrong question, then, and if we don't understand the cause, then even the right answers will steer us wrong.
Right.
And I think that's where a lot of us get stuck in that loop, because we're not clear enough on the questions we need to ask.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
I think you're right.
I suppose the only way you get good at the questions you ask is to, oops, what happened to my camera?
Your camera doesn't like you today. I apologize, folks. We're both struggling with technical issues today, and we normally don't. We're pretty good at it. We used to be.
Let me see if I can get that back in.
It's not letting you back in? Huh.
There it goes.
There you go. Now you're back.
I didn't think I touched anything.
Yep. Yeah, well, I used to swear that there was a little guy in every computer that I went to work on that said, Sam's here, let's mess with him.
Yeah, I used to do computer support, and it's like, I could have the same problem on 3 computers, and it would take something different on each one to fix it.
Yep, I know. It's crazy.
But, I guess the way we learn how to get the clarity on the questions is we just keep asking questions until it starts to make sense, until it starts to clarify. So you're not going to be able to just sit down and in 5 minutes say, what's my why, and determine that.
Right.
If that's not something you've been working on for a while.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like everything else, all these things take time. And our society as a whole, we don't like to give things a lot of time.
Yeah. To your point of asking the right questions and go in the right direction, one of the first examples that Simon gives is Langley, Samuel Langley. He was a senior officer at the Smithsonian Institute. He surrounded himself in the early 1900s with people who were very smart, highly regarded, mathematics professor, some friends in government, business, including Carnegie and Alexander Graham Bell. He was given $50,000 grant, Langley was, to build a flying machine. We call them airplanes now. But here's
Right.
the thing. His why was to become famous. And at the same time, Wilbur and Orville Wright, they were building their own machine. No government grants, no high-level mines, no anybody like that.
Just them and their buddies and their neighbors and people
Yep.
interested.
Yeah.
And
their passion and their why was to fly.
yeah.
And so what happened? They flew. And here's the thing. If you have a strong enough why, you can overcome all the naysayers. You can. I remember reading a story about their father, Wilbur and Orville's father. He was a preacher, and basically said to them, "It is a sin to fly." And I'm like, I've been through the Bible, and I don't see anywhere where it says it's a sin to fly. But people get their own ideas. But basically, he was under the impression that their desire to fly was a sinful desire. And where would we be today if they did not have that passion for flight? And once they started, they basically started with a glider, and then they put an engine on it, and it just kept going and going and going. But everybody hears the story about Kitty Hawk. They don't hear about all the times that it didn't work. So some of the things they did, you're lucky to still be alive.
I was going to say, they've got the old film, and they show them taking off in one thing and it collapsing right away, and one of them had something like, I don't know, was it 6 levels of wings? And
yeah.
And it's like, that's out of balsa wood, and it's a wonder that they made it work at all. And the thing about your why is it has to be strong enough. It has to be intense enough that you will push through all of the pain and agony and disruptions to keep at it. And because it's never an easy road. Regardless of what it is you're trying to do, there's always going to be things that pop up. And
exactly.
If your why isn't strong enough to make you say, that sucks, but I'm going to keep going.
Yeah. And the thing is that, when the book is, titled Why Start With Why? And that's the difference between Langley and the Wright brothers. They were able to lead from their why rather than from the how and the what and the where. Whereas Langley, their motivation basically was fame. Okay. And they really didn't, they focused on how are we going to do this? And that type of it, not with why. They didn't have a strong enough why, and they didn't know how to bring together all these minds with all this money. $50,000 may not sound like much to start with flight today, but take that back to the early 1900s.
Yeah, that was a lot of money.
A ton of money, right? And so, but the Wright brothers' why was to fly and and not to just get famous.
Right. And one of the other examples he gave was, what was going on with Berkeley in the 70s, and how they were handling the disruption and the change in what was going on in the world. And then Steve Wozniak. And got together with Steve Jobs and what they were able to create.
Right.
And their why was they wanted to create a whole new community and a whole new way of doing things.
Yes.
And when you look at it now, I mean, still, I don't know that Apple is the best selling, but it is probably the highest quality.
Right.
What And his why morphed over time.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
wanted it to be more than just a computer.
Yep.
It wasn't just things for work, it was a lifestyle. And people had, I remember in the beginning, people going, what do you mean a lifestyle? It's just a laptop.
Yeah.
But when you look at it, everything but my computer is Apple.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that'll
Yeah.
be changing soon.
Yeah. And they talked about one of the commercials uh, that Apple did. He gets into it pretty deeply, especially in the audio version of it. Um, uh, there, what he says right here is so pertinent to our conversation today. And I'm quoting now from the book. There are leaders and there are those who lead. With only 6% market share in the United States and about 3% worldwide, Apple is not the leading manufacturer of home computers. Yet the company leads the computer industry and is now a leader in other industries as well. And so, you know, you look back into the civil rights movement.
Yes.
What if Dr. King, instead of "I have a dream," "I have a plan," "We're going to do this," "We're going to do that." What he put out there was the why. He put out there what his dream was. And, you can say what you want or what you think, or, Dr. King had his issues too, but he was able to present a vision. He was able to see a different world.
And he was able to bring a lot of people into that vision.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And, is your why something you're so passionate about that you can do that? Can you bring others in?
Yes.
Can you show them the vision of what it is you're working toward?
Yeah, there can be leaders of industry, but great leaders are able to inspire people to act.
And when you look at what Apple has been able to do, I mean, I don't know if what he's pulled off was his original vision or if it grew over time, but he created an ecosystem, a lifestyle,
Mhm.
and even if you don't use Apple products right now, think of how they have changed the way all of us live and interact.
Oh, exactly. Well, and you can go back, especially some of the John F. Kennedy and his vision for space.
Yep.
Put a man on the moon. Ronald Reagan and the way he inspired. And I, for some reason, and I'm probably because I've listened to one or two, he did a lot with humor.
Yeah, he did.
And
he was kind of self-deprecating, which
you
don't see that. You don't see that in politicians much.
Yeah. And, if we could all get to a point where we thought about why we're doing this, why we're here on this podcast, why we put this information out, why we talk about these things, and why do you get up and go to work in the morning? My wife is a dental hygienist, and she dances in hurricanes.
I love that.
And so, but everything is an adventure to her. She grew up in the Soviet Union. And so that was her life till she came here. And so she has embraced the freedom that the United States of America offers her. And so that freedom to dance in a hurricane, the freedom to pursue the career that she wanted to. But her why every morning, and it's very, very simple. She firmly believes that what she does saves lives because a lot of disease starts in the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
They've traced it back. And if she can, change one person, then her mission has been accomplished. So, and it's funny, sometimes she has a hard time articulating what she, why she does things. But when you listen to her talk, she definitely starts with why, not with what am I going to do today? How am I going to do it? She knows all that stuff. That stuff's all, that stuff's all here. Why am I going to work today? And it's not to make money. She wants to make an impact.
Because people walking into the clinic need their teeth cleaned, and some people are like, well, it's just your teeth. Well, think about how you would feel if you were missing a tooth.
Yeah.
And how many people actually, I've got a friend who's waiting for a bridge, and so over Halloween, he was still waiting, and so he said, I'm going to go as a hockey player because he was missing, the two.
Yeah.
And he says, otherwise I'm kind of embarrassed to be out and about. And I said, well, it's because of the perception that people have of people who are missing teeth.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
number one, we shouldn't be that shallow. But number two, what she does gives people good dental health, gives them peace of mind.
Right.
And if they're worried about not wanting to lose their teeth, then it gives them that confidence that everything is going well.
Yeah. It's when we get into the book here in a few weeks, there are like 6 parts or 7 parts of the book. And Beavis, if you're still watching, I appreciate the thumbs up. I appreciate you being here. Very dear friend of mine. Great radio personality and just a good friend all the way around. So thanks for your attention.
Nice to see you, Beavis.
Beavis is he used to be the mayor in Oldsmar, and I work with him down at the port. A great guy. And if you're looking to buy or sell a house in the Oldsmar, Tampa Bay area, you need to get hold of Beavis. Anyway, all you got to do is ask around the area who Beavis is, and everybody will know. But anyway, the book is in 6 different parts, and we're going to take this over several weeks. But some of the things that we're going to talk about is like in part 3, leaders need a following.
Yeah.
Right. And it's funny. I know of probably a half a dozen pastors. They pastor a church. They get up every Sunday and preach, but they don't really have a following. They have people who come to church, but not people who follow them. I had one pastor tell me, I can't have friends in the church. Then you're not being a leader, right? If you are all alone, who are you leading, right? And so,
and if people don't feel comfortable coming to you,
right,
and you can lead without that being your position,
right, exactly.
And he goes into that quite a bit as well. And the important thing is not just having the following, but what are you doing for your people?
Right.
If you're standing around telling them what to do, that's not leading. Do you lead by example?
Yep.
And that's, to me, those are the most effective leaders. And he kind of goes into that as well. It's not so much your title, and it's not so much what you're supposed to do, but do you show them how you're doing things, and do you give them the space to do it themselves?
Yeah, exactly. So if you want to, if you have any questions about this the program that we're going to start doing here pretty quick, reach out to us. The email is balancingact2024@gmail.com. You can find Linda at Loving Life's Journey, myself at Alive at Peace Coaching. But if you want to reach out and find out what this is all about, go to balancingact2024@gmail.com. If this is bringing you any value at all, please like and share so that we can reach more people. we'll be doing this on a Grow Karma platform. Is that correct?
Correct. And
Okay.
we'll be doing that so we can have the community in there as well. And this is kind of the first of many in a series that we'll be doing. And the other thing is I lost it. Never mind.
Yeah, I have that happen to me all the time.
Oh my God. It's Friday.
Yeah.
I'm calling my brain Elvis. It's left the building.
Yeah. It's kind of like Elvis. He's out of the building. I know that feeling. Trust me. But the book is Start with Why. How Great Leaders Inspire Everyone to Take Action by Simon Sinek. Am I saying his name right?
I don't know if it's Sinek or Sinek. It's Simon.
It's Simon. Yeah. And this is a passion of his, and he sold a ton of books. I would say that when it comes to making us understand starting with why and how important it is, he's probably one of the greatest thought leaders when it comes to that. A lot of people teach and talk about how important your why is. And we just give you, I just give you a classic example in my own thought process, my wife and I had a very powerful why for a number of years, and everything we did surrounded the why. It didn't matter. Even when we decided to move to Florida, and that was a God moment. If you want to hear that story, please reach out. I'd love to share it. But we went right back to, this is why we're doing things. How is this going to help, or how is this going to move the why? Well, let me give you a classic example. Would you rather live, well, today you'd probably rather be in Wyoming because it's warmer there, or be by the beach, right? Be in Florida. And some of you are still going to say Wyoming, and say Wyoming, and that's fine. But ours had to do with family and coming over here, and Florida was just much more enticing. And I know that for some of the family members, coming and living in Wyoming was not an option. Okay, but we got them all out of a war zone. Now, here's another reason why I want to do this book. I want to get in. I want to hear your thoughts, and I want to hear anybody who would join us. I want to hear the thought process, because I'm struggling with my why right now.
And that's normal. You had such an all-encompassing, life-saving why.
Yep.
It's easy to feel lost after that has been accomplished.
Yeah.
It's like you almost feel the need to top it, and you don't have to.
And that's, Linda, that is so on track, on target, in that, we had this huge why. And look, folks, God answered the prayers. Totally fulfilled our why. And we're very, very thankful. But now we're kind of floating a little bit, and we need to bring it back to center and
find your next adventure.
Exactly. So, and those of you who know my wife, everything is an adventure. So,
life should be a grand adventure.
Yes. So, Linda, do you have anything else you want to talk about today?
Just, kind of keep your eyes open. We'll start sending out the information, get registered for the book study, and so keep your eyes open for that. We'll be putting that out there pretty soon. And, just your why doesn't have to be big. It just needs to be strong.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't have to be world changing.
Yep.
You just have to be very, very passionate about it.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So until next time, this has been Linda Wilson, Sam McEwen, Balancing Act. Live intentionally, be very blessed. We'll see you next time.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great one.